Thank you so much for the music. Thank you so much, Grace, for the music. We have really enjoyed. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's Get It Right Live. As usual, we strive to demystify issues that surround our professional development and business. I hope, Grace, you're recording. It is important that we learn so many things that will make our brands glow, our business to expand, our professional development to be completely profound. That is why we are here always from 8 to 9, so that we can learn from experts, from people who have the experience, from people who have the education, from people who have the passion for the things that we love in life. I hope you had a wonderful day, but before we dive into the discussion, kindly tell us how you spent your day today by using an emoji. Was it great? Was it beautiful? Was it demoralizing? Was it sad? Here is where you listen to something that will make you more energized. Tell us how. I can see love. I can see, what else am I seeing? There is Faith, who is saying, glad to be here, always excited for Tuesday. That is Faith Miracle. Yes, let us have those stickers so that we can be energized, so that we can start very well. Somebody is very happy. Yes, love. Yes, that is very well appreciated. You had a very wonderful day. Yes, we are waiting for several emojis as we wait for other people to come so that we can start this conversation that is important, how to crack the issues that are related to customers. And we have, I can see Pedro Diambo is saying very well. Joy Walayo, he's very happy. Who else? Pamela Onienga, very happy to be here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pamela. Murtalza, very happy to be here. I can see love. So, ladies and gentlemen, to start us off, it is to bring to your attention the people who have the organizations that have made this conversation possible. As always, we have the organizations that makes these conversations possible. Firstly, we have Labor Planet. They do labor outsourcing. If you want issues to do with labor in Kenya, they're in Kenya, and they are spread across the Republic. Then we have the Nile Front Cottage. It's very beautiful. It's very magical. I hope, James, you will take us for a seminar there. They are wonderful. It's a very, very beautiful place to be. Then there is Al Samea. If you make some good money, a lot of money, and you want to relax, because all work and without rest, Jack will always become a very dull boy. El Samea in Naivasha. Then we have Double 2HR in Rwanda. If you are doing consultancy in Rwanda, those are the people to contact. They are led by my good friend Stephen. Then we have Steadfast Consulting. You remember we had this guest. He was wonderful. Herbert Sekea of Steadfast. He does a lot of organization evaluation. He has coached several people, more than 400 or 500 executives, to become executives who excel. Then we have Panessa, as usual, they are there. Then we have Profiles International. When you want to do psychometric tests, emotional intelligence training, those are the people to contact. Then we have Kapla Mentito. If you want cashew nuts at a cost, thank you very much. We are going to be there on Friday for the tea, where we have high-powered speakers. Please don't miss to hear judges of the employment courts talk about very emerging issues in the employment court. Then we have events. We have the HR conference in Kigali from 20th to the 22nd of October. If you want to learn, please be there. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to introduce our guest speaker tonight. our guest speaker tonight. I have had the occasion of listening to James Karundu. I remember in many Netaru, he memorably told us, don't leave money on the table because of simple mistakes. He's going to tell us how people leave money on the table because of not treating their customers well. How do you make your M-Pesa kiosk to shine? All right. So we are going to crack that code. Mr. James Karundu is, by the way, a mathematician, but he has spread his wings to other areas. He's the owner of Passion Bees Academy Limited. He is a trailblazer mentor. He helps ambitious authors. Yes, I'm a proud owner of several books by James Karundu. Very well written, very, very good books. He can confirm that I have almost all his books. He coaches entrepreneurs, and that is why we are here tonight, to know how to crack the code of customers. And we are told customer is king. When you create customer experience, the customers come again and again. And he has done a lot of research. You can see behind him, there is something that is saying, becoming an entrepreneur. Can you become an entrepreneur without knowing how to treat your customers? James Karundu, what I've left out in branding you, please, you can easily do it so that people can be able to know what else you do. Take it away, Mr. James.
Thanks, Richie, and I'm glad to be here. I've been on this virtual stage before a few years ago, and it's so amazing to see the growth and development, and kudos to the team behind this. The issue of cracking the code in relation to customers. What do customers really, really want? This is a quest that I've been on in my own journey as a startup, as a service provider, running my ventures, including coaching entrepreneurs, startups, authors, and so on and so on. So this has been a quest that I've been on. And it's a quest that is ongoing. So what I'm going to be sharing, Richie, then is where we are and what my current research tells me in terms of how to crack the code. So I'm going to be giving you a number of tips, secrets, and practical solutions. So if you're ready to learn, please type on the chat RTL. Richie, I know you asked for emojis, but I want to see somebody typing on the chat there, RTL, which means ready to learn. So let me see, is there at least one message, ready to learn, RTL? Yes, I think we are good to go. Fantastic. So in this, and I'll be sharing a little bit, Richie, you said I can expand the gap, some of the things that you may have not have mentioned. Those ones will come as we continue. So for now, I want to just dive straight in. So this particular talk then is for you if you are starting out, it's for you if you are a service provider, it's for you if you are a professional, it's for you if you're somebody who has a deep desire to make an impact. You're somebody who wants to transform lives, and you're also somebody who has a deep passion for what they do. But also oftentimes you wonder what's happening. You are putting stuff out there, but it is not connecting. You're putting things out there, and the only thing that you hear are crickets. So if you've ever experienced that, this is for you. You wonder, why are they not buying? You wonder, how come? And the way I thought I had this locked in. So if you've ever tried to put something out and you did not get traction, then this is for you. And one of my earliest experiences of putting something out and not getting traction was many, many years ago when I was doing free talks. And remember, the talk was free. And I would sit and wait, and no one comes. Can you imagine? And it's free. Okay? So those are some of my earliest lessons in this quest. What do customers really, really want? And of course, one of the things I discovered then is that if they don't want it, even if it's free, it is not cheap enough, they will not come. So I'll be sharing with you some of the things I've learned from the trenches in terms of starting my Passion Biz Academy from scratch, from nothing, apart from a desire to serve people, struggling to find my path and piecing a few things together. So some of these things I've pieced together is what I'm going to be sharing. Okay. So I've divided my session today into two parts. The first part I'm going to be sharing with you in the form of 6 questions, in the form of 6 statements, what customers want. And then thereafter, we can have a Q&A, and then I'm going to put everything together with a quick summary. So, and hopefully, Richie, somebody can either type this on the chat as I just read them off my notes. So, cracking the code, item number 1. This is what the customer is telling you. This is what the customer is telling you. The customer is telling you, talk to me. Talk to me. So item number 1 is talk to me. You see, connect with me. That is item number 1 in cracking the code. Talk to me. Speak to me. In Swahili, zungumza nami. You know, that's what the customer is telling you. So what that means then is that the customer wants you to connect with them directly. The customer is saying, connect with me personally. Mimi. Mimi ambayo niko hapa, the one who is here. Talk to me. Connect with me. That is what the customer is saying. And your response in terms of that connect with me, your response must be this: being specific. Being specific. That the answer to that and the answer to cracking the code is specificity. You want to speak to one person at a time. You want to speak to one person. That person must get that you are speaking to me. And that's how you win. That's how you win over. That's how you lock in that point. Remember, the point is talk to me, speak to me, zungumza nami. And the only way you can do that is if you speak, if you speak to one person. Summary point for that is this: call by name. Call by name. Call your customer by name. So notice what I said, that you could be either a startup, you could be an author, a coach, an entrepreneur. Notice how I'm very specific in terms of calling by name. Okay, so point number 1, speak to me, connect with me, and the secret behind that is specificity, and it all comes down to call by name. If you're not calling by the name, then you are doing the equivalent of going into the marketplace and saying, where? No one is called where. Okay. Or even doing the crazy, horrible, no one is gonna come your way. Okay. So talk to me. That's what the customer is saying. Call by name. And let me give you let me also give you a tip. If you get it right, somebody raises their hand and says, yes, that's me. Yes, that's me. Okay. And I want to even maybe ask here, is there a service provider in the house? Is there an author in the house? Is there an entrepreneur in the house? Is there somebody who is starting out? Is there a HR professional in the house? Let's see. Is there a person from Rwanda in the house? Is there a person from Uganda, Kampala in the house? Notice the specificity, you see? And that is the key point. That is the item number 1 that you must crack. Because if you get it right, somebody raises their hand and say, yes, that's me. Okay. So we are done with the first one, which is talk to me, connect with me. Now, item number 2 of cracking the code is this. Somebody to write this down. Educate me first. Educate me first. Educate me fast. You see, so the customer is saying, educate me fast. And this is what you need to know, that customers are information seekers first before they are buyers. See, so the customer is telling you, tell me a little bit more, educate me. So you have to do something that is educational. And for me, one of my biggest breakthroughs, and I do it today, 10 years down the line, is I use education marketing. So if you're not using education marketing, then you are trying to market the hard way. The easiest way is educate, teach something, highlight a red hot button issue that attracts them like honey. You want to draw them in with a red hot topic. Offer value, teach, train, highlight, and then they are ready to listen to you. So for that point, then it's educate me first. That is, and how you crack that is by offering education marketing, offering education. You want to focus on education. In fact, I normally say, you've got to educate before you sell. Okay. And let's go to the next one. The third one, this is what the customer is asking you. The third one, the customer is asking you, are you for real? Are you for real? I wish I would say it in an American accent. Are you for real? Like that. Okay?
Are you for real?
Oh, yeah, that one. Are you for real? So, because the customer has had you speak to them. You have educated them. And then they are wondering, are you for real? Is this, so the customer is asking, is this what you do? Are you really passionate about this? Is this your thing? Or, as we say in Swahili, ni kupitia. Are you just trying out? Are you really a professional? I mean, are you an expert? Is this your thing? So in this question, then, the customer is yearning for you to prove to them. They are yearning for you to show them that you're the real deal. So you've got to offer some sort of evidence that it is me. And the only way to offer evidence that, yes, indeed, I am for real is this. Be yourself. You must be yourself. Do your thing. Do it your way. It is only when you're able to do it your way, it's only when you're authentic that the customer says, yeah, I think it's true. You're for real. Like that. That you don't want to be like any other person. You want to bring out your personality. You want to bring out your weird ways. You want to bring out everything about you. You see, you want to be vulnerable. You want to be yourself. You see, and because you see, the customer is yearning for deep connection with realness. You see, they may not even fully agree with you, but at least you're real. There's no fakeness. You see, so are you for real? So you've got to find a way to showcase your success, success stories. And on a side note here, if you're not using success stories, then you're missing out on something. So you've got to show that you're for real. Yeah, I've done this. I've helped this. Look, this is my track record. These are my success stories. This is me, not necessarily in those words, but you get the idea. The customer wants to know that this is what you do. You see, the customer wants to know that if they engage you, you will not run away in the night. You see, they want to know, are you dependable? You see, because you see, engaging with a customer is like a relationship like any other. They don't want to put in their time and energy if you're not the right person and if you're not real. Okay. So let's continue. So here, be yourself, do your thing, do it your way. So let's go to point number 4 in cracking the code. In terms of cracking the code, then, this is what the customer is saying. Customer is saying, give me an offer. Give me an offer. Huh? Give me an offer. What do you have for me? What offer do you have for me? And for you to crack the code, then you have to understand that people buy offers. They don't buy the product or the service. What they buy is offers. And you ask yourself, well, just consider the last time you went to a supermarket and you're on the lookout for where the deal is, where you can save a shilling and so on. So it means then, in terms of cracking this code, number one, understand customers buy offers, not the product. What is an offer? An offer is a specific, you have the product, but it's what you clothe the product or the service with, for it to look attractive, for it to be something of value. So the secret here then is, are you able to offer bundled services? Are you able to offer something called a value package? You see? So this is an offer. Bring in an optimized offering for your customer. Be generous in terms of the offering. You see? And remember, for an offer, the value must be bigger than the price you're asking for. That's what makes it an offer. So are you able to bundle things together? Are you able to bundle several items together so that the perceived value is high? Well, okay, it's not like you're not offering, it's not like you are not offering true value, but the point is this. For most of the times, for us as service providers, we are not good at looking at the specific things we are offering and stacking them up and saying, I'm giving you this item that is worth this. This is the value. I'm giving you this item also that also has this value. I'm giving you this and this that also has this value, and all I want is this. Now, that's a true offer. A true offer always has this thing of getting somebody to sit up. They're like, this is good. Yeah. Let me see. They come closer. And I'm not necessarily promoting this company. I have no shares there. But for an example of an offer is this one. Look at this soap. The thing of, I just grabbed this because I love examples of offers. I'm trying to put together, examples of offers. So I like this. Buy two, get one free. I'm like, yeah, give me two of those, like that. Because it gets you thinking. And maybe, you end up spending even more than you could have spent because of the value and the fact that it's an actual offer that is speaking to you. This person is thinking about your welfare, even though you're going to spend a little bit more, but at least this is going to last you longer. And I'm just giving you an example of an offer. So the customer is saying, give me an offer. What do you have for me? Okay. Now, so if you purchase, and now they've enjoyed your service, there is another question they're asking you. This is what they're asking you. Do you have more for me? Do you have more for me? Do you have more for me? So two things there in terms of cracking this code. You have to know that the easiest way to make more money is sell more to the same customer. The easiest way to make more money is sell more to the same customer. So if you're a DSTV customer, you know how they're always trying to get you to sign up for Showmax. You see, you've already subscribed for this, and they're also trying to get you to subscribe for more, or that's on one side. But generally speaking, I want you to understand also, the other thing is this, that a customer who buys from you can still buy more, and you don't have to do any additional marketing. So, and the customer has entrusted you with your money. And if you got it right, there's a high chance they're asking, do you have more for me. So, Richie, this is a case of stop leaving money on the table. That if you've acquired a customer with one product, find a way of selling more to them. Well, find a way of serving them even at a higher level. So practically what this means is this, that you've got to be thinking in terms of a client journey, a client journey. The other thing you have to think about also in the circles of coaches and so on is a value ladder. You know, you want once somebody has purchased this, you've got to have the next products, the next level service, the next level offering ready, because you know if you get it right, the next question is, do you have more for me? And I've seen this practically in my other venture where I run Kumon centers. There are parents who come, they only wanted to enroll their child in maybe math, one subject, or English. And then they're happy with it. And then the next thing is, tell me more about English, you see? And then from there, it is maybe even my younger son can join, you see? Something like that. So do you have more for me? And what that means is then that you remember what we've said, and I want to remind you. We said you speak to one person, okay? And you've offered them what you've offered them. So, and they have come on board because of the offer. Once they've done that, they have other needs. Your customers have other needs, and they have entrusted you with one. There could be more. So be ready. Don't leave money on the table. The last item I want to mention is this. And this is one major area where service providers are missing out. The customer is saying, keep me in the loop. The customer is saying, keep me in the loop. The customer is saying, keep me posted. Okay? And the easiest way of doing that is through email marketing. If you're not using email marketing, then you're missing the biggest opportunity that is available. You see, it is one thing to be on social media and people to follow you on social media, okay? But likes and love hearts don't pay bills. The only thing, way you're going to pay bills is if you continue serving your customer. And you see, if you don't keep in touch with them, if you don't keep them in the loop, then it's a case of out of sight, out of mind. So if you're not having a way of keeping them in the loop, and for me, I recommend email marketing. And if you're not on my mailing list, it's time you got onto my mailing list. I keep in touch with my customers, and I have used email marketing for the last 12 years. It has been one of my biggest successes in terms of marketing, because I'm able to keep people I meet in the loop. I'm able to keep my customers in the loop. I'm able to keep my prospects in the loop. And every time I have new products and services, I'm able to alert them, I'm able to invite them, and I'm able to continue educating them. So there you have it, Richie. 6 things that your customer is saying in terms of cracking the code. Speak to me, educate me. Are you for real? Give me an offer. Do you have more for me? And keep me in the loop. I want to leave it there for now, and just to allow questions, Richie.
We can type our questions at the Q&A segment. As we wait for questions to be asked, James, should you be talking to every customer? Should you be talking to everybody?
You can talk to different customers, but you want to speak to them one at a time. And I'm talking about us as small business owners, as service providers. You want to speak to one person. You can have many conversations, but you want to be speaking to one person. I hope I've explained that well, Richie. That you can be. We have many different products and services, but we're talking about standing out in the noise, and we're talking about cracking the code. So you've got to narrow it down. So you can narrow it down to various segments, but you want to speak to them separately. It's like in a school. Unaongea na watoto wa grade 6. It's a different conversation. Unaongea na watoto wa grade 3. It's a different conversation. And so on and so on. So different conversations, But so we're talking about cracking the code. That's how you crack the code, because somebody must get that you're speaking to me about what matters to me. If they feel it's not for me, they switch off. Just checking on the comments here. Checking on the comments here. I'm loving what I'm hearing. Be authentic. Yes. Let's see. I'm getting the question here. How effective is the email marketing will work while the majority of customers are business people who never on their phone now are busy now selling their products? I get that question all the time. Okay. I get that question all the time. And I would say, yes, indeed, some segments are not email readers, so don't use that. You may want to use SMS marketing. You may want to use SMS marketing. You may want to use bulk SMS marketing. That is actually the next best thing to email marketing. So you're right. But whenever possible, I would say use email marketing. But if that doesn't work, bulk SMS. Every single day, you are getting an SMS marketing message. The players every single day, whether it's your bank, whether it's Safaricom or other service providers, it works. So you're right. Let me see another one. Let me see. Okay. Service value, good. For small business owners, this is the challenge. Where you don't get the products to buy for me, but get one free. How do we go about it? Okay, excellent. So if you're a small business owner and you're strapped for cash, so you're right that the example I gave here is for big manufacturers with big budgets. But if you're a small business owner, what you need to understand is the psychology. You see, the psychology here for that in terms of bundling something so that somebody sees that they're getting value. You see, the more the economy gets tighter, the more it is difficult to get that money flowing into your M-Pesa. So you've got to be value driven, and you offer a true solution that is good value for money. That is all I'm trying to say. Okay. Excellent. Let's see. Where is the product feature? Let me see. I'm trying to get questions. Richie, any other question?
Yes, there's a question by Christine. She's saying that you elaborate what it means, talk to me. She wants to know how that conversation should go.
Okay. Excellent. No, the talk to me was a phrase that I said. It's talk about my needs. That is the point. And thanks for the question. Talk to me means, articulate my needs. I want you to speak to me about my needs and my issues. If you don't know them, ask, but connect with me. The customer is yearning for a deep connection, and they can only connect with somebody who is speaking about what concerns them. That is what talk to me means. It's all about, let's communicate, let's connect. The customer is yearning for a deep connection because they don't know they don't know who to trust. They don't know who has a solution for them. So the talk to me yearning is speak to me about my issues and my needs. And something about, this is not a full-blown class in that, but as you speak about and articulate customers' needs, you have to keep in mind there are two levels. So one of it is the visible need. I want to buy this thing. But there's also always the invisible, the one that's a little bit lower. There's always the unsaid one. And the unsaid challenge and issue and need is always around trusting whether this is for me. Will it work for me? Will it work for me? So speak to me is connect with me in relation to my issues, my challenges. I want to know whether you are the one for me.
Very good. George is asking, how can this relate to the 6 building blocks, how do they relate to products?
Everything I'm discussing here works for services and works for products. There is no, this is not necessarily just for service oriented. Remember, we are cracking the code in relation to the customer and what the customer wants. What do customers really want? That is a question. It doesn't matter whether it's a product or a service. This is a deep yearning for the customer. This is what they're saying. Speak to me directly. I want to know that, you're calling me by name. You call me by my name, talk about my issues and challenges. The other thing there is, are you for real? Can I trust you? Can I believe you? The other thing there is, do you have an offer for me? And the next thing is, from the model here, exactly what we've said. It doesn't matter whether it's a product or service. That is all I'm trying to say. It is the same. The framework is the same. There could be slight shifts here and there, but it is the same.
I could like to, I'm one of those delightful customers of your material. I think every Monday or Tuesday. How do you get these emails? How do you get these emails? Because getting an email from somebody will be a hard task. How do you manage to get this email? What strategy can you deploy so that you get these emails?
Okay, the way to do this is first of all, I use education marketing. So, and I've done this for 12 years. So I do free webinars every single week. And for you to come to my webinar, you have to sign up on the link. So that is one way I get. The other way I get my list is from my customers and past clients. It's gathering all that information and putting it on a database. The other way I get my list is I belong to various networking groups and BNI. And every week we are meeting new people. Every week I'm connecting with new people. So I get to let them know I'd like to keep in touch with you via email. The other thing is that most of my marketing in the early days, in the early years, was by giving talks and also being on various stages. When I'm invited on stages, I always request to get the contacts of the people whom I'm speaking to so that I can continue educating them. So I get, and yes, of course, my customers or people who buy my books. So it's something which I have done religiously. So I'm building my list every single day, Richie.
Thank you so much for those wonderful tips. I can see Juliet White has done a wonderful summary. Now, once you have understood these keys, how do you do costing? Because that is one of the challenges coaches have, mentors have. How do you decide this is the costing for this service, for example, or this is the costing for this product?
Okay, I'm not going to do a deep dive in it, but I'm going to give a few tips. Okay, so the key thing is asking yourself this question. And we are talking more about, I guess, the people in the costing in service-related scenarios, including training, coaching, etc. Is that right, Coach Richie?
Yeah.
So the key thing you have to ask yourself is, what is where is the value? Where is the value in what it is that I'm providing? You see, for example, if you were to sit down with somebody and listen to them, and then, you know how you go and see a doctor? Where is the value in seeing a doctor? You see, the person is able to give you a safe space. The person is able to listen to you. The person is able to examine you. The person is able to do a number of tests and give you feedback. But also the person is able to do a diagnosis and tell you it is malaria. And then they give you a piece of paper called a prescription. Go and buy this. And maybe they might even follow up later. Find out, did you buy the medicine? Did you take the 2-2-2? Like that. So everything I've discovered, everything I've talked about in that interaction is a value point. The safe space is a value point. The thing of getting a listening ear is a value point. The thing about doing tests and giving you results is a value point. The thing about giving you diagnosis, a point of clarity, the thing of giving you a prescription is a value point. That prescription is a roadmap. It is a value point. And even following up to implement it and keeping you accountable is a value point. So the way then to think the way you have to start thinking is where is the value in what I'm offering? What are the value points? What are the distinct things that are involved in this? When you start thinking that way, and then also the other element, back to the doctor thing, how much do you pay when you go and consult a doctor? There's always a price point. So it's not that difficult. What is important is you start thinking in terms of the value points. Where is the value in this? So this is not a full-blown treatment of that topic, but I want to leave it there, Richie. The starting point is understanding the value points. Every little thing you're doing has a value. And when you're able to isolate each of them, that is where you start seeing now where is the value, and you can even put a value on it, not necessarily for the customer, but in terms of even you being confident of putting a figure. So that is the starting point.
Very good. As a mathematician, what is the role of cracking numbers in getting into the customers?
Now, yeah. I did not hear the last point. Cracking numbers and getting into the customers, what?
Mind, so that they can buy. How do you engage customers after you've really cracked the numbers?
No, first of all, let's talk about numbers. In terms of engaging, it always takes I call it 12 touches before they buy. Okay, you mentioned numbers. Now you're getting into my space, Richie. So now I have to get into a bit of numbers. So it takes 12 touches before they buy, meaning somebody has to see, hear, read, experience several times before they make the decision. So that is why marketing is always an ongoing thing, ongoing, relentless. And also you have to have different touch points and different conversations and testimonials and so on and so on. So the other thing there is this. This is not necessarily, I haven't done the full research on this, but I'm saying it takes 10 to get one. It takes 10 interactions or 10 no's or 10 rejections or 10 attempts, before you get one good customer. But that one good customer will get you 10. I call it 10 to 1, 1 to 10. That is what I call it. So, but the key thing there in terms of engaging numbers, of course, you have to keep tracking. You have to keep tracking. You have to keep tracking what you're putting out there. You have to keep tracking what is working. You have to keep tracking, the responses. And when you use things like email marketing or SMS marketing, bulk SMS marketing, then you're able to track and see what are the open rates. We're able to see this topic, I shared this, these were the open rates, these were the sign-ups, this is what I got. So if you don't have a way of tracking, then it becomes difficult. So back to you, Richie.
Thank you. And Kimani is wondering, what advice can you give a saloon owner?
Saloon owner. For a saloon owner, the number one thing you must do is create a database of everybody who enters your shop. You've got to create a database. Most places, they write them on notebooks, hardcover notebook. Those numbers and contacts, you must put them together in a database. And then I would recommend SMS marketing, and I would recommend offers. You can have weekly offers, and you can, you need to put everything in a database, everything on Excel, so that you start monitoring the customers as they are coming. And it's good when it's on Excel, and also when you have the contacts, because sometimes, when customers come, they are the customers of the business. And sometimes the service providers in a salon may disappear. The hairdresser may go, and they go with the customers. But if you have their details and their contacts, you can always entice them. And if you're a service provider like a salon or a barber shop, and business is low, what you want to check is on the days the business is low, you do some sort of free offer. You can do a free offer of haircut and manicure, something like that. If a customer has not come, and call them back, give them a free haircut or something, but back to the offers, because people buy offers. So me, I would say database. That is a starting point. Back to you, Richie.
Thank you very much. I'm imagining the role of soft skills in this conversation. What can you say to people who are in business, either in product production and service industry? What is the role of the soft skills?
Now, you see, the role of the soft skills is huge and major. You see, remember what we've said here in terms of talk to me. It's always about how the person feels. And I always say the soft skills, especially in terms of how you communicate and the service that you offer, and being polite and being friendly, and so on, those are usually the game changers. Those are usually the game changers, that where there is equal, let's say the products are equal, it is the person who has better engagement that comes from better soft skills and better engagement through the welcome, through the listening, through being attentive, and so on and so on. And all those are products of soft skills. So I would say the flip side of my model is that people need to get trained, and don't go train them on big things, train them on the soft skills, how to speak, how to connect with the customer, how to ask the questions, and how to make the customer feel special and valued.
There is a question from Brenda. Is there a change in dynamics if one is engaging in B2B partners?
Yes. Everything. Yeah, thank you for the question. Everything I've discussed here has been for the specific scenario of the small enterprise, which is what I'm familiar with. The dynamics do change when it is B2B. Everything I've been discussing here has been more towards you dealing directly with the customer. But when it comes to a B2B scenario, slightly different dynamics, slightly beyond what I've said, but some of the basics that I've mentioned still apply, but with a slight twist in terms of making them fit in a B2B scenario. But remember, even in a B2B, it is human beings to human beings.
Thank you very much. I remember at some point I was in the presence of you making a talk, and you said feedback is the food for champions. And I can see somebody has mentioned, what is the role of feedback here?
Oh, yes. In fact, first of all, let me give you the feedback number one. The feedback number one is always money in the bank. Okay. The feedback number one is always what? So that is always feedback number one. Because people vote with their feet and their money, you see. So if that's why I started saying, but if you're not getting traction, maybe what I never said was that if you're not getting traction, people are not buying, that's clear feedback. So feedback is always going to be there, and feedback is not personal, and feedback is, that loop must always be there. And let's be wary of the silent customer. Be wary of the silent customer. That is the most dangerous one. So it's good for you to have feedback, and you want to ask for it. You want to ask for it. Sometimes it comes fast and furious when things are not working, but feedback is what you need, and it has a major place. In fact, a lot of course correction for a service provider happens because of feedback. Course correction happens because of the feedback that you get. You can't do without it.
Brenda Katasi wants to know what is the role of customer relation management systems.
Yes. No, the CRM is essentially taking this conversation to the next level, because you're using technology, and you can even go to, even depending on the complexity of the data that you're collecting, have even an AI component that can be able to help you. Today, there is AI that is integrated with the CRMs, but I would rather not go into that complexity of conversation. I very respectfully request to keep it within the space we are in. And also, I want to request to give a 3-sentence summary for everything I've said. So can I do that?
Yes, please.
Excellent. Now, everything I've said today comes down to these 3 sentences, okay? It comes down to that you've got to find a way to woo, W-O-O. You've got to find a way to woo, W-O-O. You've got to find a way to win, W-I-N. Okay, sorry, it's the other way. There's one more, wow. So it's woo, wow, win. Yes, I've got it. You've got to find a way of, wooing, how you woo, how you, if one has been in a dating relationships, you woo them, okay? And then you have to wow them. You have to wow them. And then the final point, you have to win them. So in summary, you woo them with specificity, calling by name, okay? You wow them by understanding their needs. You win them by the offers you put on the table. If this was a case of dropping the mic, I would be dropping it. It's over and out. Back to you, Richie.
That is Wambui. What about when your supplier fails to deliver your customers' goods on time? How do you go about it?
Okay. I'm not so sure if okay, I can answer that, but I had already dropped the mic. So are you requesting that I answer that even after I've dropped the mic?
Yes, so that we satisfy that customer so that she doesn't go home thinking my question was not answered.
Okay, so the question is about, so what do you do in what?
In a situation whereby the supplier has not been able to deliver certain product for you that belongs to a customer, how do you go about engaging?
So one of the things in my model is speak to me. One of the things that we've said here is, are you for real? You've got to be real. And when it comes to service deliveries, especially and mess ups by third parties, it is only through being real, is only by telling the truth. And you've got to be able to reach that customer early on in terms of the disruption and the change in the timelines. We are in a scenario whereby some of the things we're involved with involve third parties, but the customer is dealing with you. So you are the one who is on the receiving end. So if there are supply chain issues and disappointments, the first thing is to make sure that you speak to the customer and you be real and you say the truth of the matter and you ask for their indulgence, because the customer doesn't know about the third party. What they know is you.
Thank you so much. Actually, you had dropped the mic, but there's a question here by Ismail. We'll come to you when you do your parting shot, though.
Yes.
Ismail, how do we keep our relationships strong with customers? How do we keep those relationships strong with our customers?
Excellent point. How do we keep relationships strong? Do you remember where we said, keep me in the loop?
Yeah.
Keep me in the loop. So essentially, and we said this was not a full deep dive in it, but I can give a few tips here. The question is, how do you keep relationships with your friend? You're my buddy, Richie. So how do I keep a relationship with you? If I don't keep in touch with you, and if I haven't seen you, and I haven't sent you any goodie, or I haven't sent you anything to reestablish our relationship, I haven't bought you coffee, Richie will be saying, this guy, Bana, now, Kwani, what happened to our relationship? So relationship with customers are like any other relationship. It is you who must take the initiative. Let's put it this way: never let a customer forget you. Never let a customer forget you. And if you're wondering how to build your customers, I mean, how to build the relationship, wow them, delight them. In fact, Richie, I have two words: surprise and delight them. Find a way to surprise and delight them. What can you do to surprise and delight them? Okay, so gifts work. Gifts work, whether it's end of year. Why would you wait until end of year? Find a way, a reason to connect, give something, offer something. It doesn't matter whether it is a branded pen. Reach out to them. Reach out to them. Surprise and delight them. Back to you, Richie.
Very good. There are people here who could love to receive those tips, secrets, books that you normally send me on Monday. I think it's on Monday or Tuesday. How do we reach you?
The easiest way to reach me is either somebody can WhatsApp me, or the easiest way is simply just follow me on my Facebook page at James Karundu. You can DM me and say, if you can DM me and say, add me to your list, add me to your list, add me to your list, and you share your email, I'll add you to the list. So just follow me on my social media, James Karundu, DM me, or on Instagram at James Karundu, DM me, share your email, I'll add you to the mailing list, and you'll join my tribe.
Very good. Jacinta, you can share the link to Get It Right so that we can have people getting into it, and we progress, becoming better in our businesses, in our professional development and brands. You can prepare. I know you dropped the mic, but there's something we call parting shots here.
I have a parting shot. I'm ready.
Parting shot. It has been a wonderful, wonderful pleasure listening to you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Back to you for that parting shot.
Excellent. Actually, where I was dropping the mic was I was just looking at the clock, so not wanting to ensure we don't go over the time. That's actually where I was dropping the mic. But anyway, thank you. Great to be here. My parting shot is one and very simple. It's about learning to trust yourself. Learning to trust yourself. Learning to trust yourself. And one great point of learning to trust yourself is learning to trust what you feel in your heart. If you can feel it in your heart, there is a yearning, there is a craving for it, there is a need for it. So if there's something you've been thinking about, something you've been wanting to do, something you've been hesitating to do, you don't need any other evidence apart from the strong feeling in your heart, especially if you've been having an idea that never goes away. Step out with it. Trust yourself. I have seen time and time again that something I was thinking about doing, I hesitated, and then I put it out there, and I find somebody says, wow, where have you been? Like that. So learning to trust yourself, you can feel it in your heart. There's a yearning for it. You can feel it in your heart. It is it. And go for it.
Go for it. I know you have a book called Go For It.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a delightful pleasure having Mr. James Karundu. But on Friday, the 13th, is it the 13th? Yes. We are going to have tea at Sapphire, Mombasa. Don't miss. We are going to have high-level conversations with eminent judges of the employment courts, Please don't miss. It is only 1,000 bob. 1,000 bob. That is a very good conversation for you to be available on Friday from 5 to 8. Thank you so much. It has been an exciting discussion. I was your host, Richard J. Magoma. Good night and God bless you all.
Night.